So hello and welcome to Two Peas in a Podcast. As always, I'm Razultor, but you can call me Raz for short.
And I'm Sara Fantastic.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about some spooky things.
Because now it's October and you can legally drink pumpkin spice lattes and ghost clothes are in. And by ghost clothes, I mean clothes with ghosts on them.
Perfect. So, Sarah's outfit of the day is super awesome. She's wearing a, Boo, not Boo,
It's
the
a
character,
ghost.
but a ghost sweater. And it says, fabulous. Because
Fabulous.
it's going to be a fabulous month here in October.
Too bad they didn't have a pun on fantastic.
Oh, that would have been pretty cool.
That's what I always look for. And I should have been Sarah Fabulous. But I'm not fabulous. I'm just fantastic.
You don't even need a Ghost Rider with that shirt.
Oh my gosh, that, dear listeners, is the pun of the day. It came early. We're going to have lots of other puns I'm suspecting now, and so I'm sorry. Strap yourself in. Buckle your seatbelts if you're in your cars.
Yeah,
for
you'll
safety.
see a large boom in our posting.
No.
In our pun numbers.
No.
I don't even know.
Okay.
All right, so anyways, we do a story of the day. We also do weird laws to start off our podcast to give you guys something to look forward to, I guess.
Educational.
Yeah. So my story for the day is we actually went and looked at apartments because we're looking at moving to another area of our city, which will be super fun. My favorite part of the apartment searching process is getting to tour all the different ones because it's like, ooh, fun tours.
Yeah, it's my favorite part of the process.
Yeah, but then you can also be like, ooh, this one has so much better appliances than that one, and I'm glad we didn't get stuck with it. So.
And spider webs.
Oh, and spiderwebs. That one was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our question was always, is it worth getting an upper floor and having to carry groceries up? That's always the biggest thing is you have to decide.
Yeah, we'll get lots of big reusable bags and just take them to the grocery store. It makes it so much easier.
This is true. My story of the day is today I ate rosemary on my french fries as a seasoning, and oh my goodness, I thought it was going to be gross and I wasn't going to like it, but oh my goodness. Put rosemary on your french fries. Put rosemary on
your face.
Your children.
Yep.
Don't eat your children, please.
But your face. Just lick it off your face.
But yes, that was the most amazing experience of my life. It was almost like they sort of roasted it or something. It wasn't fresh.
They do roasted rose. I guess I don't know if it's roasted or not, but
they
do something with it and
maybe they just put it on the grill,
and sea salt on the fries.
And it's so good.
Yeah. Highly
recommend you try.
10 out of 10. So our weird laws. In Lewis, Delaware, the weird thing for them is so if you get married on a dare, that is grounds for an annulment of your marriage.
I wonder if they call it a dairy. If it's a darage?
Dear dairy. I was dared to get married.
Don't be lactose intolerant if you're going to get a dairy.
Dare to care, Sarah. Dare to care.
I care about this law in Delaware, somewhere.
Delaware,
somewhere. I didn't write down the city. Trick-or-treaters can only trick-or-treat from 6 to 8 on Halloween. Unless Halloween falls on a Sunday, then they must trick-or-treat the Saturday before from 6 to 8.
That's so weird.
No earlier, no later. So you have 2 hours to get all your candy and run.
Yeah, you need to get candy for the year, too. Because let's face it, who buys candy?
I mean, November 1st is my favorite day of the year because it's discount Halloween day.
Perfect. Exactly. We go to the store after Halloween and get all the Halloween candy.
All the Halloween candy.
So good.
I'm trying to be nice and festive, so I have a candy bowl. Well, I still have that wine glass full of
the
gross jelly beans. And
or good jelly beans.
They're all gross.
Toothpaste is great.
Yeah. Baby wipes is good too. But I also have, it's a candy corn mix, so it's got the yellow candy corn, the brown candy corn, and the little pumpkins and stuff.
Oh.
I'm really afraid that my landlord, he came up into my apartment while I wasn't there after we did the jelly bean challenge, and because he was fixing something, and I'm afraid he ate some of the jelly beans.
If he did, I would laugh, because he probably was like, why does she have these?
Yeah,
this is just a trap for guests.
I'm not gonna lie, I could still taste the canned dog food that night when I went to bed, and I had brushed my teeth 2 or 3 times since that point.
But
no, you're not. My
My favorite type of jelly bean, actually, is the Starburst jelly beans.
Yes, I like the sour ones.
Mm-hmm. Like the green apple.
Because sour Skittles will wreck you.
Oh, yeah.
They will tear your mouth up. Like, I ate so many sour Skittles one time that my mouth bled for 2 days. Because, like, it scratched up the roof of my mouth.
Don't do that.
It, like, shredded it.
That's dangerous.
Don't do that. So, kids, don't do drugs and don't do excessive sour.
Eat Skittles responsibly, kids.
That's the lesson from today.
Don't be a Skittles addict.
We're actually just stalling because we have a list of things to talk about, but we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, who actually knows? I mean, with spooky stuff, what's actually going on? No one knows.
So right now we're going to talk about some spooky TV shows and movies that at least one of us have watched.
Yeah,
that we enjoyed and why we enjoyed them.
So the first one is a huge fandom one.
Long running.
It's our biggest one that we're talking about for sure, which is Supernatural. Supernatural's amazing. Only watched a couple seasons of it, but I'm working on watching the rest.
I've watched a couple seasons. I think I'm on the end of season 2. Maybe I'm on season 3 now.
Something.
So, but I've also seen like episodes in the future because when I go home, my dad's caught up, so he watches reruns, and so I watch it with him.
Nice.
So, who's
Still
your
in the
favorite
months
character?
of the week.
Who's your favorite character?
Favorite character?
Because you haven't met Cass yet, have you?
No, I haven't met Cass, I don't think. I don't know. I don't have a favorite quite yet.
I like Dean.
I thought you were going to say Dean.
I feel very like kindred spirit to Dean of like, oh, gotta take care of my little sibling. I mean, not that my parents were hunters or anything. My mom is still alive. She did not burn on a ceiling. But I felt that like responsibility. Because everyone says that Sam is the nerd, but Dean makes way more, like, nerdy references. Sam is more like the geeky tech kind of guy.
Yeah, Dean is the Pokemon hunter.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he would be Team Valor, and Sam would be, like, Team Instinct.
Yeah, probably.
Or no, I bet Sam would be Mystic.
I'm pretty sure
and
Sam
Cass
would be
Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel.
I think that's right.
Everything comes back to Pokemon, guys.
Yep. All of your life is Pokemon, whether you realize it or not.
So everybody's like, Supernatural's not a scary TV show, blah, blah, blah.
Totally.
I can't watch an episode by myself. If it's not scary, it's at
least suspense.
And, like, I don't like jump scares. I don't like supernatural horror stuff. That's the stuff that I lay awake in bed at night and think, there could be a ghost hovering right above my face right now about to suck out my soul, and I would know it. Covers won't protect you from ghosts, only from monsters under the bed.
I think that's what scares me the most, is that, like, if there were things in the world that I just are outside of my control and are outside of, like, the norm, kind of, and those kind of things that just, they're in rural towns, so you don't hear about them, or other things.
Yeah, that kind of stuff scares me senseless.
Same.
And so, like, I can only watch... So I used to watch Supernatural by myself when I was building bookshelves.
Mistake.
And that... Because, like, I was like, I have a hammer here. I have these boards. Like, if a werewolf comes in, if, like, some sort of demon... I just whack it with the hammer. It'll be fine. I ran out of space to put bookshelves, so I can't build anymore. And so I stopped watching Supernatural whenever no one would watch it with me. That's all right.
We'll watch it together eventually.
I do enjoy it, though.
It'll be great.
Yes.
All right, so the next thing on our list, I think, is Stranger Things, which I've seen, Sarah hasn't seen, so I'm going to talk about it without spoilers.
Yeah, it's next on my list to watch.
Yeah, it affects a lot of people. Barb is the most important character. If you haven't seen any memes, you should have seen all the Barb memes.
I have stayed away from memes because I don't want to get spoiled in any way.
Yeah, so it follows, like, several generations of people and how they're reacting to this crazy supernatural thing that's going on. It very much reminds me of, like, a 90s kids movie, while at the same time having some, like, horror and suspense aspects to it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really strong and well-made series overall. But I think it's just so fun. Like, you just need to watch it. And then
I mean, it's only 8 episodes, but I feel like it's the kind of show that, like, I actually have to watch.
Yeah.
Like, I can't watch it while I play Sims.
Yeah, you need to actually watch it.
So, that's why I've put it off some.
That's understandable.
I feel like I need to give it time.
That's why I like rewatching shows so much, because then I, like, know what's going on, so I don't have to pay as much attention, and I can play video games while doing it and not feel bad about it. Yeah.
But I love that, like, that first, like, immersive experience where you're watching it and you're trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's my favorite.
That's
why I hate when, like, people spoiler stuff for me, because I'm like, like, I don't have an emotional connection to it anymore because, like, I'm not trying to figure out what's going on. I'm not immersed into it.
Don't spoil stuff. It's just rude.
Next is Blair Witch.
Oh, so this is also something I've seen and you have not seen. Have you seen the Blair Witch Project?
I have not. Isn't it a shaky cam movie?
It is. So the Blair Witch Project is basically the movie that started found footage films. Yeah. It was like the first one. And so it was really foundational in that genre for that reason. I don't remember it being all that scary. Matt Pat, actually, on his Film Theorist channel, recently released a video about it.
Yeah.
Because Blair Witch came out pretty recently, which is like a sequel-ish movie to it. So the Blair Witch Project, he has a theory about it, and I won't spoil it, but his theory is really, really cool. And I was like, oh.
we should watch that.
Yeah, definitely. We'll probably watch that after this episode's recorded. Okay. But Blair Witch was really good. It basically follows the character who dies, brother, who's trying to find her and figure out what's going on with the Blair Witch. And so they go to the, Black Mountain where the Blair Witch has been seen, and they use newer technology in their found footage film. So they use like a drone as part of their filming technique and some other things. So it was cool to see those newer technologies implemented into found footage films.
Yeah, found footage. Like, I don't like shaky cam films, honestly.
I feel you
like, what's the big Final Destination? Mm-hmm. I tried watching one of those, and I just...
They're hard to watch.
To me, it's not as scary. Like, it's not as scary.
Yeah.
It's not as immersive. It's not... It is more real, but I feel like it's something I could go watch on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. You feel like it should be more immersive, but it like takes you out of the moment for a bit. Yeah, I get that. And so it's something that I struggle with. The only shaky cam film I've seen that I've actually enjoyed is called As Above, So Below, which is basically catacombs and under the Vatican, I think, maybe in Paris. Oh, that sounds really cool.
I don't remember if it's under the Vatican or if it's in Paris. I think it's in Paris because I think they've been speaking French. And they get lost under there, and they're trying, like, they're basically trying to find the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh.
And it is just your typical, like, a group of people goes in, someone has a shaky cam, they're recording, creepy stuff is happening, people start dying,
That sounds really interesting, actually.
It was really cool, though. Like,
yeah.
It was a basic movie. It wasn't, like, groundbreaking or anything. But I enjoyed it because there was, like, a lot of historical stuff about alchemy. And since Full Metal Alchemist, like, everything about alchemy is cool.
Yeah.
So that was on here. Next, we were going to talk about, like, slasher horror.
Mm-hmm. So, and how those are slightly different than, like, suspense horror or other things.
Psychological.
Yeah.
And so, like, the example that I have is, like, the Saw series versus something like The Shining. Because... The Shining is more like psychological and suspense, whereas Saw is just like psychopath murdering people in bloody, disgusting ways. And I'm not a huge fan of slasher stuff. Like, it tends to be more, not just more violent, but much stronger language.
Yeah, typically.
And, I mean, sometimes it's what you want if you're, like, late night with a bunch of friends watching creepy stuff.
Yeah. For me, the visuals is what gets me in horror movies. Like, I don't get as scared by sounds and things. It's when a visual thing happens. And so, like, I'm not super into gore, though. Like, I don't want my horror movie to be super gory. I want it to scare me in other ways, other images.
See, music gets me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, once suspenseful music starts, like, I, like, just shrink. Like, we were watching a trailer for a scary movie right before this, and, like, the music changed, and, like, my hands instinctively went over my eyes because, like, it just terrifies me. And so, just stuff like that, it weirds me out. I've seen one Saw movie, and it had Carrie Ells in it, and, like, what was really interesting to me about that was, like, the color scheme, because they're, like, trapped in this concrete building, and so, like, everything is, like, grays and whites, except for, like, this bright blood.
Oh.
And so, like, that to me was the most interesting part of the film, is, like, because color schemes are so important in these type of films. Like, it's all about symbolism there. And so, like, people talk about how slasher movies aren't very deep or whatever, but there is aspects to it that I think are good that you can analyze and still interact with.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Next on our series is The Shining, which is something I've seen. I don't think you have seen it, Raz.
Nope. Obviously, I know, like, Here's Johnny and all that other stuff.
Yeah. So the first time I watched that, I watched it with a film major who studied film, who studied, like, the making of movies. And he was like, Stanley Kubrick is so important for any foundational film major because of all the symbolism he uses and how he just how he does things. And so like the color red is so important throughout this movie. Like the theme of this movie is literally like the color red. And so just looking at like when the colors change or when the angles of the camera change, it was so foundational just for film in general, which is really cool. That like we tend to think horror is more lowbrow stuff, but really like horror has really pushed the film industry to produce better stuff. That's cool. Which I think is really cool. Mm-hmm. Next is like more psychological, like Silence of the Lambs type stuff. Silence of the Lambs gave me like the creeps. That was such a scary movie. But Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins, so good in it. And I liked it because there weren't jump scares. Like it was literally just like psychological terror, which I like that more, I think. Jump scares, I'm not there for that.
I like when my brain is scared, not when I react to something that's scary.
I mean, there's something nice about jump scares, like that release that you feel of like the tension. The worst is whenever there's a jump scare and then right after it, like the actual scary thing happens. I hate that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. You wanted to talk about The Following, Edgar Allan Poe stuff?
Yeah, so there's a lot of Edgar Allan Poe stuff recently. The Following is probably one of the popular shows about it. Mm-hmm. It's very gory in a way, where it's just a lot of kind of violence and other things that happen from a person who was an Edgar Allan Poe like fanatic. And he's so into Edgar Allan Poe that he takes these poems and things and reads them as if they're supposed to like lead to someone wanting to kill people. And so it is very much
creepy.
Like, they don't like, it's not like cannibalism in Hannibal's sort of sense, but it is very much like creepy, like destroying of humanity in those types of ways. So it's very interesting.
One movie, if you like shorter stuff, that I've seen about Edgar Allan Poe is called The Raven. And it came out, I still lived in the dorm whenever it came out.
A while ago.
Yeah, it came out like 2012, I think. And it just follows Edgar Allan Poe's like final days because he disappeared for 2 days. No one saw him or heard from him. They found him on a park bench. He was really sick with a fever. He had a couple of moments of lucidity where he said really crazy stuff and then just like died. So no one knows what happened to him and if those moments of lucidity were actually him being like lucid and saying what happened or if it was just him like still being crazy. But in it, what happens is someone, a fan of his, is killing people in the way that characters in the stories that he wrote were killed. And, like, there was even, like, a really intense thing about, like, the Telltale Heart, which is one of his more popular stuff, which was creepy, but it was, like, it was really good, because it was a slasher film, but there wasn't a whole lot of language in it.
That's good.
But it still had, like, the blood and gore if you like that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Creepy. The last thing we're talking about is something that's not out yet, but we're both looking forward to, and both will probably see and then do an episode on it. But the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is coming out December 1st?
December 1st.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. The guy who is directing it worked on Poltergeist, which I know a lot of people liked. So that's a good thing, I guess. I don't know. I haven't seen much of his stuff, but we watched the trailer right before this, and it looks good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Like, it looks like what I'd want the game to look like in, like, real life.
Yeah.
And so I'm very excited. I don't know if you all have ever played Five Nights at Freddy's or know what it is. We're actually going to do a scary episode and talk about video games, so a lot of it will be designated talking about that later.
Yep, we plan to do probably all of our episodes in October will have something to do with scary stuff, or at least Halloween-ish.
Spooky,
stuff.
Scary skeletons.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Now, that song has been stuck in my head for
like
that 2 months.
It's October, now we can sing it.
Now it's appropriate to sing it and listen to it on repeat. But, yeah, the FNAF movie looks super good. I'm really interested to see if, because it's, like, sort of indie, if they'll implement any of the FNAF fan songs.
Oh, that would be interesting.
That would be really cool. Like, I would love for, like, trailer songs or, like, the guy on the iPod to, like, pull it up and it'd be, like, a FNAF like fan song that I've seen before. Yeah. That would be a really cool Easter egg.
That'd be awesome.
Which Scott Cawthon is known for doing.
Oh, yeah.
So, we'll see, because I know he's been really involved in this film.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping it's a really good transfer from video game to film.
Yeah. That's what you always want. I was a little weirded out because sometimes, like, in the trailer, sometimes the animatronics look like actual animatronics, and then sometimes they were incredibly animated like the video game. So I don't know how that's gonna work out, because I know, like, it is sort of indie, it is low budget, but
we'll see how it goes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that's our episode where we talk about some spooky things. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you have something new to watch or
Learn
to think
from
about.
it,
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
For sure. So enjoy. I hope that you do all the special things with YouTube that you can do, like, share, subscribe, all those things.
I thought you said I hope you enjoy October and all the spookiness.
That too. Enjoy all the fabulousness that it will be.
Yep. I'm ready for it.
All right, I guess on that note, we're going to have to say peace out. Sound check. Check.
Yeah. Check mix.
Check out our mixtape, girl.
I don't have anything to go from tape to something else, I'm sorry. Wow. Scotch tape.
Scotch tape. Tapestries.
Oh my god. Save it for the podcast.
No, all the puns always.